I'm Gareth Leonard, and this is a Croatian polar plunge. Take 4.
No, get me out of this. Oh, my nipples are like hard right now.
And after a morning in Plitvice National Park, we have left it behind towards the Bosnian border in search for the largest underground military base of Yugoslavia. And it looks like we found it. Look at this.
Although we're scheduled to be in Split later today, this morning, we're going off the beaten path to make 3 incredible stops, starting with way more than an old airplane.
Goran, what's going on up there?
I'm having the best view, man.
Is there any snakes in the plane?
No, I was making strange noises and they're gone. Or they haven't been here, I don't know.
All right, let's get inside. Here's the engine right here, pretty exposed. And both of the wings are still intact. For the most part, I should say. Stripped, obviously, of a lot of its parts, but probably by people coming around and, wanting souvenirs, and also maybe some other officials, when it first was taken apart or decommissioned. But now what's left is a shell of a military plane and a bunch of stickers from visitors. This. And up here. What? What? No way. Oh man, you can even see into the propellers. Look at this setup. Just the shell of a military plane, of a Yugoslavian military plane, right on the Bosnian border. This is insane.
That's so cool, man. Really, really cool.
What? Everything is torn out, just leftover stickers of visitors. Look at this. From the top of the plane, out here, way out here. And what's crazy is under all of these overgrown trees and bushes and such is a massive complex.
It's true, the plane is just the tip of the iceberg here. We are currently standing on what was Yugoslavia's largest underground military base, and one of the most expensive military projects Europe had ever seen. Long story very short, 3 years after the US launched nuclear weapons against Japan, the Yugoslav government began construction of the Željava Airbase. With a new weapon of mass destruction threatening world order, and 2 superpowers playing chicken over pressing the button during the peak of the Cold War, countries raced to protect and defend themselves. Yugoslavia spent the equivalent of $6 to $8 billion in the 50s and 60s on this underground airbase over the course of its 20-year construction, finally completing in 1968. This incredibly designed complex stretched 3.5 kilometers underground. Protected by the surrounding mountains, it had 4 different entrances, secured with 110 pressurized doors and 5 different runways in case of an attack. It had its own water source, power generators, fuel supply, air conditioning, food quarters, and a mess hall that could feed 1,000 people at once. Along with bunkers and tunnels, it was used to build and store military airplanes and served as Yugoslavia's central hub for advanced communication, with technology for early detection of Soviet ballistic missiles. The complex also had an impressive above-ground layout as well, with 34 buildings, including barracks, boiler rooms, dry cleaners, and a radar surveillance system at the top of the mountain. This place was like a Bond villain's wet dream. However, because of its incredible power and location, during the Homeland War, or Croatian War of Independence, Yugoslav People's Army, or Yugoslav National Army, set out on a year-long mission to destroy it. And in 1992, 56 tons of missiles were used to bomb it until consumed with internal fires. It hasn't been in operation since the war, and today, it's still monitored by police and border patrol. But you are able to go in and explore at your own risk. If you do go, be extremely cautious and stay on the road, because during the war, landmines were also placed here and not all of them have been uncovered. And inside the tunnel, Some say there's radiation, toxic fumes, gases, and not to mention the landslides and animals like snakes and bears that come with the abandoned landscape. With that in mind and a history lesson complete, we press on.
All right, we're just coming into, is it Knin?
Knin.
We're just coming into Knin, and this is said to be where the first Croatian flag was stuck into the ground after the war was won, correct?
Exactly, yeah. In 95, from the 4th to the 6th of August, the final operation has been won. This was in this area. Here up on the mountain next to the castle, they hissed the first Croatian flag with the first president of Croatia. And today, every year, the 6th of August is a big public holiday where all the important people of the country come here to celebrate this big day for our country.
You can actually see bullet holes in some of the buildings. There's 3 right there. Bullet holes in the buildings as we drive through. How does this make you feel?
Like, I don't know, it touches me kind of. I'm very curious because I've never been up here, and I know it's like a historic, very important place. It's interesting.
Knin Fortress, positioned on the top of the steep Spas mountain along the main transport corridor between Croatia and Bosnia, is the second largest fortress in the country and a most significant defensive stronghold.
Man, it's crazy to think this is just a pass-through spot for us. This is an incredibly beautiful location. Mountains in the distance, these orange dotted roofs along the valley floor, Bosnia on the other side, and we're walking through a massive fortress that is just absolutely empty. What do you think?
It's spectacular, very interesting, and so amazing. There are no people here.
It was one of the most important locations during the Croatian War of Independence and has been a pivotal position of power for all those who came before it. The fortress was conquered by the Ottomans in the 1500s, the Venetians in the 1600s, and today the Croatian flag flies high, raised during Operation Storm, the last major battle of that most recent war.
We're lost in the fortress.
Yeah.
It's a good problem. You can sleep up here. You get all these tiny little rifle holes. And you can see the town below. Gunpowder and magazine room. Look at this. I'm going up that way. Look. Another gunpowder cave. Let's take a look. Where they stored more gunpowder. How deep does that go back? Oh, that's pretty big. That goes way back. This is crazy. Alright, so this fortress dates all the way back to the 9th century. And the style that's set up in here now is from the Venetian rule. And that's what made all these moderations. This is one of the most beautiful fortresses I've actually seen anywhere. And we have the whole place to ourselves. Look at this. Nobody here. Oh, we're going inside. Can you give me the summary?
Yeah, okay, so this is Franjo Tuđman.
Even more summary.
Huh?
Give me the big summary.
Bro, I have no idea.
The war. Summary of the war.
You want to go with that politically?
Summarize the whole war.
Okay. So the war has started in 1991.
It's more summary.
How short?
1 sentence. 2 sentences.
How are you going to summarize something?
I'm asking him to give me a summary of something that is so layered and so difficult. Basically, the war went from 1991 to 95.
95, exactly, yeah.
And there's many layers to it. It was, some may call it the Yugoslavian war.
Yeah, for us it's the independence war.
So it's a major aspect of life here in Croatia.
Yes.
It's so recent. And we've been talking on the road trip about this, and it's woven into the fabric of the culture here in Croatia. And not a lot of people get to see that when they're just on the coast in Dubrovnik or Split or on a yacht. So this is a truly a very important aspect of Croatian life, and every single family has been affected in some way by the war. Everyone knows someone or has lost someone that has been in the war. And without getting into the details, I'm trying to get him to give me a summary so I can make a nice clean wrap up of it. But the truth is, there's no clean wrap up of war. There's, you know, one side will tell one story, another side will tell another story. So it's hard for me to try to get him to justify in a few sentences what this war was all about. But basically, the end resulted in Croatian independence from Yugoslavia.
Exactly. And I also like try to not take a big point of view from one side only, because I know that the other side has an own point of view. It's very complicated, and at the end there's so many things that happened. It's very hard to summarize it like in an objective way, because the information is always subjective as well. So I like try to not go too much into details right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is just all the information, or a lot of the information around the war, and everything that the major milestones that have affected what is now Croatia. Let's go up to the flag now. What do you think? Pretty big deal, huh?
Yeah, very special to be here for the very first time. Especially I haven't thought about going up here along the way. Very cool experience, to be honest.
Goran just said it, but imagine the guys that would just fight in the war, and we're stationed up here in the summertime in all this heat, and I'm sweating and nobody's shooting at me. But very interesting to be here, and you know, I can't quite understand what Goran is feeling, but it seems like it would be such a significant place. This is the place that signified where you officially won your independence, and it's such a beautiful location too. All right, what do you say? Let's keep moving?
Yeah, let's keep going. Let's go to izvor Cetine.
We got to get in the water.
Yeah.
Back on the back roads, straddling the Bosnia and Herzegovina border in 90-degree heat and no air conditioning, our last stop was a necessary one.
All right, all hot and bothered from a full-on day, we have finally made it to church. But more importantly, well, maybe not more importantly, but in a different aspect, we have made it to Cetina. And this is where we will hopefully cool off. I've already put my swimsuit on and popped my top. So let's see if we can go jump in to, holy, look at this place. It's in the shape of one of the most beautiful things in the world. There's only a few people here, and this is gorgeous. The mountains behind us, surrounded by a small village. This is something else. You come with me?
No, gracias.
I'm Gareth Leonard, and this is a Croatian polar plunge. Holy! Woo! My teeth are frozen down. It's a little cold.
Oh, that's so cold. No, get me out of this. Oh, that's cold. Holy shit. My nipples are like hard right now.
I wonder why everybody's just hanging out inside.
Yeah, I was like, why is no one swimming in this thing?
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Why is no one going in? Well, because it's almost freezing. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah. Yeah, they too. Good work. Goran, what do you think?
It's way too cold. My back is burning.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna be this cold either. It's good for you though.
After a full-on day, exploring some lesser-known Croatian sites and experiences, we finally make it to the popular coastal city of Split, where we make the obligatory stop for gelato. And this one, featured homemade waffle cones, and each one got a drizzle of warm chocolate at the bottom from their never-ending chocolate fountain. Yeah, I know.
And just like that, we finished the day here in bustling Split. with some ice cream with the whole crew. Happy as pigs in mud. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned next week for another video from here in Croatia. Until next time,
Travel deeper.
travel deeper.
Look at this guy. He's got ice cream all over the place. He's got it on the edge of his microphone.
On the mic. I had it on the lens. I got that off. I got it on my arm. I'm a disaster.
You're lucky you didn't get on your shirt.
Not yet.
The white tee, the Travel Deeper white.
Travel Deeper merch on sale now. It may or may not include ice cream. We found it. Now, I also just came out of the woods for dramatic effect. You can actually park right here. Cetina?
Cetina.
Cetina.
No, Cetina.
Cetina.
It's
that
a
right?
C, not a Z.
It's a C, not a Z. Oh, yo.
Ow!
It's a freezing body. What penis? Road trip stop. Always. Burek. Necessary road trip stop. Always gotta get the burek everywhere we go. Ladies are great. Another bakery, another day.
She says if you haven't tried burek in Croatia, you haven't been to Croatia. That's why I told you.
Here we go. Time to try it.
It wouldn't be a Croatian road trip without a stop at the bakery for some burek and donuts. Tati, a ver, the donut? Look at that. Tati went with a donut. Tyler, first burek, what do you think?
Pretty good. It's like a meat sandwich.
Oh yeah. The road trip continues.